Okay, we're going to replace some pieces on the shutter. It took me a while to design them and get the design right so they work, but here's your opportunity to have your shutters working the way they're supposed to. They go up and they go down. Your very simple procedure. Follow the video, buy my little Plantation Shutter repair kit off Amazon or eBay. And does your Plantation shutters look like this? Would you like to fix them? There are 4 full length and one that's 2 pieces. This is the top adjuster, and the top adjuster is a little bit different in length than the bottom one. So we're going to be cutting one of the 3 pieces down to a 2-piece. We're going to measure the old ones and you'll see that they'll all be the same length. And the last one, we're going to take it and we're going to see which side lines up best, and then we're going to cut it. As you can see, the original one was cut as well. And we'll shorten this up just a bit, and this will be the top one. Okay, let's start installing them. And we'll start on the top with the little 2-piece. As you can see, I'm down to my last shutter, and you can see that some of them are broken. I don't know why the ones on the bottom tend to break. I think maybe because the kids get to them. The ones on the top are pretty solid. Actually, they're all solid. We just have 3 here that have to go. And my assistant's going to hold the camera while I show you how to take off the bar that holds these things. It's not that hard to do. It's just a matter of pulling it, and they break pretty easy when they're this old. Comes right off. I'm not sure if you can see the little piece that's remaining right there. You got to cut that out with a pair of nippers, and you can pick up the nippers at Home Depot, or actually the place to get them is Harbor Freight. They're like $3 or $4. Okay, to get the end off, you need a chisel. You put it in the brake. And sometimes they come off easy like this one, and sometimes you destroy them getting off. Wow, that one came off perfect. Now, but it's not going to come off, so we're not going to tape it. But I don't recommend using it until the glue sets up at least a day. Wait at least a day before you test it out, and you should be fine. Just as you can see, they all line up now, and that the connectors are blue. The connectors can be made in any color you require. If you have a wood grain, if you have any wood grain or any colored ones, I don't know of any colored ones. All the ones in my neighborhood are white. But whatever color you need made, we can make them in any color that's necessary. make sure it's in there as flush as you can get it, and that little dab of glue should hold it. And let's look at this one here. Hold this. And as you can see, I didn't glue that. That needs to be glued. But they all work just fine. And we'll put a dab of glue on this one, and we'll eventually finish that project. You'll be sliding these little plastic hooks into the rods. First you're going to clip them in to the actual shutters, and then the rod slides on. As you can see, these slide in and the bottom piece gets glued on. The bottom piece, once it's glued on, try to make it so you can take it back out in case you have to change them later on. Children can be really rough on these things.
Okay.
When removing the caps, be very careful not to cut them. You probably can reuse the original caps. We do include caps with every 5 you buy, so that way if you do damage the cap, you can replace it. The most important thing is not to damage the end here, because if you damage the end here, you're going to need a whole new, I don't know, stick. I'm not sure what you want to call it. I used a chisel, very carefully tapped it a little bit with the hammer, and loosened it, and it came right out. Once it comes out, you've got to take all these out. These are the original ones that are broken. You're not going to use them anymore, obviously. And the top one seems to be jammed. Okay. And we get the top one out. On some of these, you're going to see remains of the plastic. You're going to have to take the nippers and you got to cut them so they're no longer there. Most of mine are already missing. The 1 or 2 that are left, okay, they tend to fall into the shutter. There's a lot of room in the shutter. I really don't know how they get these things to go to mount. Alright, once they're all clean, just take them, position them in, and they rotate into place. Try to remember which 2 you cut, because those are going to be the top and the bottom. Twist them a little, be careful, try not to break them. They're pretty sturdy. Well, you shouldn't really break any. Make sure you twist them all the same way. Tight on this, bud?
Yeah.
I've got to be able to see what I'm doing. Sometimes moving the shutters up and down a little will help you get them to slide in. They're a friction fit. And once you put the bar in, it locks them in. And they're not coming out. But they can break. Never had one break, but they can. Okay. Now you have a straight line. You'll find the bottom sticks have to go in down and the top sticks have to slide up. That's because you don't have enough clearance between your floor and your ceiling to do it any other way. And just keep working it down. We got a couple of left here. They're a little bit of a pain to line them up and get them in, but I'll get them in. Now, once they're in, you got to put an end cap on it. And I recommend you use a little bit of Elmer's glue, not too much, because you want it to be able to, move them up and move them down, and move them up and move them down. And if you don't glue the end cap on, the end cap will fall out on occasion, but you're better off just a little bit of glue and you're all set.